Welcome to my channel on stamp collecting. Let me share a really cool stamp with you. So I keep all of my stamps organized in drawers, and these are my animal stamps, and I have hundreds of them in there. I've been ordering a lot from Etsy lately. So let's work on the first one right here. All right, check out this stamp right here. It's from Ajman State and its dependencies, and it's a bobcat. All right, let's jump on my computer. We got some talking to do. That's right, we do. So take a look at this stamp. I've magnified it and I put it on my computer just so you can see it more easily. If you'll take a look, you'll see this stamp is from Ajman State and its dependencies. And it is a bobcat, as you can see on the right of the stamp. You can see that at the top left it says postage 20 dirham. And on the right it says 1971 on the cancellation. So this stamp actually is from 1971, and that is a big help. I want to show you something. How do I know that information? How do I know it's from 1971? Well, I have an app on my phone. It's called Stamp Identifier. I downloaded it from Google Play. And I just took a picture of the stamp, as you can see at the top, and then I did a crop, and then I did the search, and it came up with this information. And basically, you can see this stamp is from 1971. It was published or issued on November 12th. And having that app, if I could recommend anything, it would be get the app, Stamp Identifier. Take a picture of your stamp, and you can discover the specifics behind your stamp. I'm gonna close those two, and let's go open up the my browser. So I've got a whole bunch of things to go through. I want to share information with you. So let's start on the first one. So if you want to find out information about a stamp, the simplest way to do it is to describe it into Google. So go to Google, like I did, and then type in what you see on the stamp. Ajman State and its dependencies. I added the word bobcat and the word stamp, and then when I hit enter, it gave me this long list, and I'm able to scroll down and not only see the stamp that I'm interested in, but lots of other stamps too. And some of them are from Ajman, some of them have a bobcat on them. So when I end up clicking on this one for eBay, it takes me there. And as you can see, this stamp is part of a collection. There's 4 other stamps in the series. And someone is selling it for less than $2. So that means it's a common stamp. As pretty as it is, it's not expensive. You could get this stamp just by doing like I did. Google it, then go to eBay, boom, you've got it. Something else you can do is go to Etsy. So I did the same basic search at Etsy for bobcat stamp, and I couldn't find that specific stamp, but there's lots of other bobcat stamps, including one from the USA. And then if you scroll down, you're going to see sometimes there's collections. So look at these 2 collections right here. So on the left, you see a collection of wildcats, and on the right, you see bobcats in particular. And when you click on that, it comes up to this site right here, and someone is trying to sell their collection of stamps. And yes, it's selling for $12. Most of the ones I buy are $5 each, and you'll get anywhere from 12 stamps up to 50 stamps in a particular theme. Etsy is great for it. So if you want to find any stamps, just go to Etsy and type in whatever it is you're interested in searching for. Now, there's another way to find information about this particular stamp. And so here's what I did. I went here and I typed into the AI mode because I was curious about something. I clicked on AI mode and then I typed, "Can you tell me about this stamp?" And I uploaded that image because I have a screenshot of it, plus I've taken photos with my camera and put them on my computer. So, and here's what it basically said. It said that the stamp was made in 1971. It has the word bobcat on it. Bobcat is a North American wildcat. and the value of the stamp is 20 dirham. And it tells just a little bit more about the political situation in Ajman, because 2 years later, Ajman is part of the United Arab Emirates. And we'll get to that in a minute. Here's another way to find out information. So I pay for ChatGPT 5. And I just gave a quick description of this stamp and asked it some information. And it tells me all about it. And I also uploaded that image. And it tells me that it's from Ajman and its dependencies. And then it tells me the writing in Arabic and its translation. And just to double check it, I actually went to Google. Well, first I copied this, copied it, then I went to Google, typed it in, and said, translate this into English. And then, of course, it said Emirate of Ajman and its dependencies. So I can trust that information. And then when was it made? It tells me the information, where the country is. It explains it's in the Arabian Gulf. It's surrounded by the Emirate of Sharjah and then two others, Manama and Masfout. It tells about its language and explains why English is so common on stamps around the world. It's because English is widely used in business and signage, not just in this country, but in countries all around the world. And then it tells about another thing, the animal, the bobcat. It explains that the bobcat's a North American wildcat, and it explains about its bobtail and where its ranges, its typical diet. And I want to explain something about collector interest and market notes. There's something called Cinderella stamps and also something called sand dunes. And I just want to explain that it is very common in the past for countries to have stamps created and they are immediately canceled. And then they're sent out to collectors around the world, like you and me. And you might wonder, why in the world would people do this? And it's like, now let me jump over to Google real quick. And I just asked, why do countries publish stamps and sell them to stamp collectors? Gemini gave me the answer, and it's really simple. Countries can share not only their culture with the rest of the world, but they can also bring other cultures into their country with these stamps, and they can make a lot of money. Let me give an example. In the past, countries like Tuvalu and Liechtenstein have generated more than 15 to 20% of their government revenue from stamp sales. That sounds crazy, but this is a thing. This is a money-making business. So countries will hire companies to do artwork and create the stamps, print them very low cost, and then distribute them around the world for people to collect, like you and me. Now, I want to point out again from this stamp, I'm interested in learning about this bobcat and about Ajman State. So I went to Wikipedia and I looked up some information about the bobcat. And you'll see a lot of cool information here about what it eats and et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm really interested in is, what does it really look like? So I'm just going to click on this picture and then scroll through some of the photos in here. Isn't this gorgeous? Just take a look at that picture. Here's a bobcat in the wild, just sitting there. This is where it's located in North America, a little bit into Canada, and a little bit into Canada, and a little bit into Mexico, but it's primarily in the United States. And there's a drawing of it, and then here's a bobcat in the wild, and you can see its bobbed tail. There's its paw print in mud. And here's one that's walking on a bar for some reason. And here's one that's just walking. You can see again a bob tail. That's why it's called a bobcat, and its tufted ears. And here's one that caught a rabbit. It's going to go have dinner. And these two adorable little kittens. Yeah, I'd love to have them as pets, except they're wild animals, and that's not allowed. So not only do I want to learn about the bobcat and just scroll down, read through the information, see what it says about its history and its past. What does adult do? Blah, blah, blah. I also want to learn about Ajman. So I went to Wikipedia and looked up Ajman, and it tells me just a little bit about it, where it's located, its flag, its coat of arms, and a little bit of details about it. And what I discover as I do this is that it's one of 7 emirates that's part of the United Arab Emirates. In 1971, this country joined together with the other countries, and they became one large group. So you will find stamps from all these other countries, but now they're all done together by one country. And so if I click on the next one, United Arab Emirates, you will see that that's the case. And the reason research is important to me is because I learn new things. For example, um, if you scroll down just a little bit, you look at the population. And it's fascinated me to see that only 11% of the population are native Emiratis. So that means 89% of the people there are from other countries. So when you think about like migration across borders in the United States or any other country and all the issues that are being brought up, other countries have much higher population from out of the country and they're doing just fine. So 89% of them. And who are those? They're mostly migrant workers and the people from other countries that just move there. So people that come to work, and a lot of them are from South Asia. Now I want to click on this just to point out something. So this is the location of the United Arab Emirates, and then right in there is a tiny little spot that was for this one country that we're talking about for the stamp. And notice it's in between the Asian continent, Europe is over here, and the African continent, right in between. So you got these 3 large land masses. The only other large masses that you have besides these are Australia down over here on the far side, North and South America, which is almost an equivalent amount of land space. So as I near the end, I just want to point out that I love collecting stamps and learning about them. So I'm intentional about what I do. So I don't just stick it in an album and forget about it and try to collect more and more. I try to do a little bit of research to teach myself something about it. So I do want to point out something. I do have an Instagram, and if you scroll down, you're going to see a lot of wildlife photos because I am fascinated with wildlife. I also have a TikTok, and as the other, I put my videos on my TikTok channel, and you will see lots of wildlife videos that I take when I'm out exploring. Now I'm doing something special with my stamp, and here I want to show you another video. So check this out. It's just arrived today. It can go on the left or it can go on the right side of the page. Yeah, that's a book I created on this computer. And I made it for myself, but I also make it available to other people. I actually sell it at Lulu. And it's $16.38. And you can get it. You just got to go to Lulu and look for this title right here, Beginner's Guide to Collecting Wildlife Stamps, if that's something you're interested in. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. I love stamps, and I have literally 6 or 7,000 stamps that I will be working with in my retirement as I focus on something that's fun that I did when I was a child, back when I was 15 years old. And now I'm back into it. Thanks for watching my video. Obviously, like and subscribe and all that other good stuff. And expect more stamp collecting guides to come out over the next few months. I've got one on birds that I'm working on and another one on butterflies. They are going to be awesome. Thanks for watching.